Hey people, how you doing? So today morning I actually woke up and I was feeling great because I have to tell you, because someone actually bought one of the chopping boards I was advertising, and in fact it gives me great pleasure and appreciation to that person, and I hope that a great many of you are still going to pop in and ask me to make you guys to have the guy make you guys a chopping board, very high quality chopping board with great wood that you could have for the rest of your time. Now also, the person that actually requested for that board to be made was interested to have me air out a story that she is probably currently going through, and this story sheds light on a sort of question that many business owners have in their heads, and that question would be, to what extent do the systems that govern us justify the wrongdoings of those that we employ? And also, to what extent does the justice that we expect from the system that actually governs us, work for us? To what extent does that work for us? Okay, because in whatever wrongdoings that may be in a business setting, you would think that, first of all, both sides are protected to some sort of area, right? But what if the people that come into the business, that find the business, the people that you employ, what if they do you wrong? Does the system work for them too? Because it pretty much would be unfair if the system doesn't work for the employer and he's the one that's been done wrong. Okay, so with that being said, I want to get right into the story, all right? I may mispronounce some things, so bear with me, please, because I want to keep it short. I don't want to keep it too long, all right? Here we go. I own a butchery, opened December of 2024. It's been full of lessons as an owner, navigating the market, still figuring out the place, trying to live up to being above the basic. All right, not seeing any profits and trying not to fall into debt at the same time, trying to figure out the staff too, pros and cons. Okay, building a solid team. I have total of 5 staff, 4 in the butchery and 1 for the food cart outside the door. Trying to grow and right now, literally at the deep end of my tiptoes. So basic gist of it all, last Saturday a customer calls my husband and she tells him one of our staff has walked out of the shop very suspiciously heavy. Those were her words. He was walking uncomfortably heavy and he walked back in with the load off. Okay, told us to check the CCTV. Lo and behold, we saw what she meant. This guy went into the cold room and spent 5 whole minutes in there and came out like he was 7 months heavily pregnant under his belly, in his pants. Okay, we watched him right up till the walk out of the shop. She had been in the car outside while her daughter was in the shop. All right, so our suspicions were correct the whole time with this guy, cause it's not the first time I have seen him do something like this on camera. And sometimes the last person you want to be is an ass to someone like this, where it's so hard to prove them wrong. Okay, this time I said no. If we want this guy gone, now is the time to do it right. Let's get the police involved so everything is documented from the theft. He had tucked about 80,000 kwacha worth of food, of meat, in his pants. Yes, police statements given and signed, we decided not to have him locked up, a mercy. Agreed what he is owed to be paid off, and it must be done at the station on Monday. The CID would call him about when, okay? About when, as in what time, all right? We should refrain from talking to him, okay? All right. Monday, 8 a.m. He had agreed. It's changed to 11 a.m. The police called him to the station to go to the station at 11. Tell me why this guy changes the time to 5 p.m. like he doesn't want his money. How are we supposed to dance to his tune? Okay, 5 p.m. nothing, and the station is where the cops have said to do the sign-off. How is this guy defying the police? She asks. Listen to this. Tell me why today this guy brings a letter from the labor office demanding notice pay, severance pay, leave pay, and whatever else. Okay. How is an employee that has wronged someone still has the guts to imply that he has been wronged? Okay, with that much evidence, when in fact he owes me more than I owe him, she says. Like Antuena Amaganiza Motani, she wonders. Is logic just not uncommon? How does he think going to the labor office will benefit him more, when going to the police was actually benefiting him more? I've saved him any jail time and wrote the meat off. Wasn't even deducting anything. Now, going through the labor, I get to deduct a whole amount from him. He's not liable for notice or severance after stealing from her. From me, as she said, shaking her head. There goes the delusion, people. There lies the matter where you have to ask yourself, okay, so I need to ask this question as well. When someone goes to the labor office and demands that they need justice for something wrongful that they've done, is termination on the grounds of theft not something applicable anymore? Can you not fire your employee off the grounds of saying, this guy stole from me, so that's why I fired him? You can't do that anymore? Because here's what I'm going to get. Labor office should actually instruct and direct these people who believe that they've been wronged into the right direction. Here, he was given an option where the two parties concerned, the wrongful one and the one in the right place, go to the police station and they agree and they talk about these things, right? And they pay this guy off, even knowing that this guy stole from them. They save him some jail time and he's let off to go. Because with as much as he stole, that was going to be deducted of his salary, and that's a whole lot of money, right? In this economy, yes, things are hard on everyone, but you cannot expect that you could be benefiting off the business of your employer just because you think you have a loophole somewhere. That is theft. Now you go to the labor office is giving you a letter that doesn't stand, because if you take this any further, the police says no. This person was fired because he stole from that employer. That means that they have evidence. If they have evidence, you can't deny the facts. Now, this dummy here just lost his chance of receiving cash, because now that he's gone to the labor office, now things are going to be documented that no. See, this man here stole this much worth of meat now. We wanted to drop the subject, but now you've brought it up, so we have to put it on top. We have to deduct this from the amount of money he was supposed to receive. We don't want him in jail. In fact, Maybe because of the justice system and how it works, maybe you can put him in jail, but we don't. They didn't want him in jail. They saved him some jail time, and they wanted to throw money in his hands, but this guy said, no, I don't want that. At what point does the system that governs us justify the wrongdoings of the workers that we employ as business people? Because that is unfair. It is unfair to that point. But I understand where maybe there might have been a lack of communication to the labor office because only the one party went there. You understand? If both parties had gone to the labor office, not even if both parties gone to the, if the labor office had contacted the employer and asked how was this person let go, because all of a sudden they jumped to the conclusion that this one person was wronged. He was fired unjustifiably, which is wrong. They were supposed to ask the employer about the details of what happened. She deserves justice. She didn't want to jail anybody up, because if they did that, his life is ruined. But she gave him mercy, but he didn't receive it in that way. That's why she was even asking that, like, how do you live with yourself thinking like that? Anyway, people, what do you think? And I want to leave you with this. If you have any comments, please comment down below. And also, if you want a chopping board with high quality, please contact me. All right, we'll talk about it. 25,000 only, but you pay for transportation. All right. And also, if you're in Salima, please get some Coma natural mineral water. It is the best tasting water you're gonna ever have, and you will ever have. Trust me, if you have that, you will remember me. Peace. Have a great day, people. Thank you for watching.